Well, I'm Alan Dale from Gale Force Winds. It's an absolute pleasure to be back here at day 2 at DEFSEC 2024. And I want to tell you, big thanks to our sponsor, Cisco, for bringing this conversation alive. Nothing better than getting people talking, collaborating.
Absolutely.
A rising tide floats all boats. Great to have Callian on the show. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
So, Kevin Snayer. So I'm the Vice President of Callian in Canada from our ITCS business. So it's our IT and cybersecurity side of our business.
Break that down a little bit, Kevin. What exactly does that side of the business do?
Well, that's a great question, and it's a pretty diverse side of our business. So we start off, we've got some staffing contracts, so we can help supply people into the federal government contracts that are on different cybersecurity and IT roles. We do professional services around pen testing, auditing. We do some MSEC work, bug sweeping. We have a couple of contracts where we're going in and making sure that the emanations coming off of our digital devices are not being able to be intercepted. And then we do NOC, SOC services, so security operations centers. And we're now located right across America, North America.
Yeah. Are you seeing a big uptake in the whole cyber world these days?
Yeah, absolutely. We've crossed the threshold where we were an insurance company that people were frustrated to have to pay, that we're now part of the business process. So people are actually thinking about the cybersecurity as they're pushing out their business plans, as they're putting out their budgets, and from software development right into running a mom and pop shop.
And Kevin, at DEFSEC 2024, a lot of big players in the room here today, a lot of SMEs in the room here today. What are you guys hoping to get out of this show?
You know, I think you talked a little bit earlier about collaboration, right? So we're in an industry here in Canada that there's not one size that fits all. So we spend as much time talking to our other partners, other folks in in our industry, to figure out how, maybe one project we're working together as collaborators, the next project we may be competition. So that's a big part of what we're looking at, and then just talking into the different groups to see what they're getting experience on. Our industry changes so quickly that it's challenging to say, okay, this is what we're going to do this year, and we're going to focus just on that and do nothing else. And all of a sudden, there's a little side move around, and we have to figure out something new to do and understand.
Talk to me a little bit more about that sort of competitive, sort of collaborative nature, because it's so true in this sector, is that sometimes you're competing and sometimes you're collaborating. But I find at DEFSEC, the conversation is really alive, and people are so willing to share ideas. Why is that?
Because we're Canadian. That's number one, right? We understand that there's no way we can survive in this industry without some collaboration. It's a small community of people. We're going to see people here at this conference. Some of us will be overseas in another conference, and you're going to run into some of the same people. So we kind of become friends and colleagues in the back end. There's some people that are, moved from company to company so that you get just a little different insights. But really, it's just, we've really discovered in Canada, especially defense intelligence industry, that the projects are of a size and scope that we really do need to work together, or we're just not going to succeed. And then there's always that industry working with, whether it's academia or government contracting. We're all feeling the same pains and challenges. So he's kind of got a camaraderie together as we're going through the procurement process.
Do you find there's a lot of sort of breaking down of the stovepipes between industry, academia, and government in your space?
Yeah, 100%. And just interestingly, I just spent yesterday over at Dow University. So there's one of the ITB, the Industrial Technical Benefits Program, that's in the Canadian defense business, where we have to give back into investing in small business and stuff. So yesterday we just announced a massive grant program, which all started through the ITB program with Dow University. We've got an NSERC grant that we got produced out of it. There's multiple industry partners. So Callian is one of the ones leading it. Field Effects is who our partnership's on it. And we've got IBM now involved. We've got CSE is involved in this. So we've got about 197 students that we're going to be able to bring into industry. And some of them will be doing sales roles. Some of them will be doing very technical roles over the next 6 years. So there's a beautiful example of a collaboration between academia, the government programs that are actually starting to work, where we're actually seeing that there's the investments going to happen back into Canada,
right? And
then multiple industrial partners that are going to all have to work together and work through these resources. And it's great for the students because they're getting a feel of what's the delta from their education, what you're learning in school, and what is required in the to work in business.
What a great story that is. I mean, to think that you're able to take your obligations, invest in people through that process, and sort of give them experiential learning all along the way. And then, you know, on top of that, you've got other programs like NSERC jumping on to be a part of it. I mean, that's a win-win-win-win situation.
Absolutely, and Create Grant also got involved in it. So it's win-win-win-win. It just kept getting bigger. And it's one of those times that we're really showing one of these government initiatives, that's trying to get everybody to collaborate is really working.
And probably get some multipliers along the way with that, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we get multiple multipliers working through some of the kids. We're getting some small business involved. We've got some people time involved, right? University students. I'm back there today. So the current cybersecurity classes are going to do some presentations to me. They're going to talk a little bit about what they're doing for their master's and doctorate programs, and then I can kind of steer them a little bit. Okay, that's an interesting what you're looking at, but if we tweak it a little bit, it's going to be more fitting to what we're doing in industry.
Right.
There's sometimes we get people asking us to do some research projects that our phones. We all know that we were joking around a little bit today that our phones are listening to us. How hard is it for me to inject myself, though, in that conversation? So we've got Dal University doing a research project on that very thing. So is it really a risk? Is it not a risk? Because sometimes we think, but we don't know, right? So that's what this program has been able for us to do, is just throw really interesting research projects. And the students love it because now they're getting exposure to what they're doing on these research projects.
Well, I got to tell you, and get the industry feedback so immediately into the classroom is so vitally important if we're going to be successful here as a country. Listen, that's a great way to end this. What a great success story. Great to have you on the show.
Beautiful. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.